You could be standing in front of your mirror right now, staring at an outfit that fit you perfectly last year, and wondering why it suddenly makes you look 10 pounds heavier. Here's the truth nobody tells you. It's not your body that changed. It's your clothes lying to you. Every single day, women over 60 blame their bodies for something that's actually a fabric problem, a proportion problem, or a placement problem. And by the end of this video, you're going to know exactly which 7 lies your closet has been telling you, and how to flip every single one of them in your favor, starting with something as small as where you place a single button. Stay with me because tip number 4 is the one most women over 60 get completely backwards, and it's probably hanging in your closet right now. Hey there, welcome back if you're one of my regulars. And if this is your first time here, welcome. I'm so glad you found us. This is Timeless Style After 60, the place where we prove week after week that looking put together, elegant, and yes, slimmer, doesn't require a fortune or a whole new wardrobe, just a little know-how. So grab your coffee, get comfortable, because today we're diving into something so many of you have asked me about. Now before we start, I want you to know something important. Looking slimmer isn't about hiding your body or apologizing for it. It's about dressing it with intention. Every tip today works with the body you actually have, not some imaginary version of it. And every single one of these tips is something you can try with clothes already sitting in your closet. No shopping trip required. Let's get into it. Tip 1: the V-line trick. Most women reach for a scarf or a necklace to break up their top half. That's not wrong, but here's what nobody explains. It's not the accessory that matters, it's the shape it creates. Your eye naturally follows lines, the same way it follows a road on a map. So when you wear something that forms a V shape near your collarbone, whether that's an open cardigan, a wrap top, a button-down left slightly undone, or a pendant necklace hanging low, you're literally training the eye to travel downward and outward in a slimming direction, instead of straight across your widest point. Here's a little test you can do today without spending a dime. Stand in front of a mirror wearing a plain crew neck top, take a photo, or just really look at yourself. Then open a cardigan over that exact same top, or unbutton the top 2 buttons of a blouse. Watch how your whole silhouette shifts. The shoulders seem to soften, the chest seems to lengthen, and suddenly there's a sense of movement where before there was just a flat block of color. That's the V-line trick working in real time. And it costs you absolutely nothing if you already own a cardigan or a button front top. A lot of women think this only works with plunging necklines, but that's not true at all. Even a subtle V, just an inch or 2 of open space at the collarbone, sends the same visual signal. You don't need to feel exposed to benefit from this trick. Tip 2: the 1/3 rule. Here's something most style advice completely skips over. Your outfit should almost never be split exactly in half. If your top and your bottom are roughly equal in length, say a hip-length top over pants that are also visually equal, your body reads as one solid block from a distance. And blocks, no matter what size they are, always look bigger than they actually are. Instead, aim for what I call a 1/3, 2/3 split. That means either a shorter top paired with longer bottoms, so the top takes up about 1/3 of your visual length and the bottom takes up the rest, or a longer tunic worn over a slimmer, shorter-looking bottom underneath like leggings or fitted trousers. Think of it like a picture frame hanging on a wall. A photograph centered exactly in the middle of a blank wall looks static, heavy, almost stuck. But shift that same photograph slightly off-center, and suddenly the whole wall feels more dynamic, more intentional, more alive. Your outfit works the exact same way on your body. An even split feels stagnant. An uneven, intentional split feels tailored, even if the actual pieces are simple and inexpensive. Try this with something you already own. Take a tunic top that normally falls to mid-thigh, and instead of wearing it with pants that end right where the tunic ends, wear it with a slightly longer pant, one that breaks the tunic's line about 2/3 of the way down. That small shift changes everything. Okay, quick pause. If tip number 3 just made you go, wait, really, do me a favor and drop a comment below telling me which tip surprised you the most. I read every single one. And if you haven't already, hit that subscribe button and tap the like. It genuinely helps this channel reach more women who need to hear this. Alright, let's get back into it. Tip 3: the fabric weight secret. This is the one almost nobody talks about, and it might be the most important tip in this entire video. It's not about the color of your fabric, and it's not even really about the fit. It's about the weight of it. Thin, clingy fabrics show every single movement of your body underneath them, which sounds harmless until you realize that movement equals attention, and attention on the wrong areas makes you look heavier than you actually are, no matter what size you're wearing. What you want instead is a fabric with a little structure to it, something with enough weight and body that it falls in clean, straight lines rather than clinging to every curve or wrinkling every single time you sit down in it. Ponte knit is a wonderful example. So is structured cotton blend, mid-weight jersey, and anything with a bit of scuba-style stretch to it. Here's a trick for shopping, whether you're in a store or scrolling online. Don't just look at how the outfit hangs on the model or the hanger. If you're in person, pick the fabric up and let it fall over your hand. If it feels light as a napkin and flutters at the slightest movement, put it back because on your body it's going to cling and crease in all the wrong places. If it has a little heft to it, and drapes downward in a smooth, controlled way when you hold it up, that's your winner. If you're shopping online, look at the fabric content listed in the description, and look closely at the product photos for any clinging or wrinkling on the model. That will tell you everything you need to know before it even arrives at your door. Tip 4: the sleeve mistake. Here's the one I told you about earlier, and I promise you almost every single woman makes this mistake without ever realizing it. We've been taught for years to think sleeveless tops look slimmer because they show less fabric, less coverage, less bulk. But for most women over 60, that logic is actually backwards. Bare arms, especially under bright lighting, actually draw the eye directly to them and can create width exactly where you don't want it, right at your widest point. The real secret is the 3/4 sleeve. It ends right before the widest part of your upper arm, creating a natural taper that makes your entire arm, and by extension your whole upper body, appear longer and leaner than a sleeveless cut ever could. This is the exact reason you'll notice so many well-dressed women reaching for 3/4 sleeve blazers, cardigans, and tops instead of sleeveless pieces, even during the warmer months. It has nothing to do with hiding anything. It's purely about proportion and where a hemline falls on your body. If you're someone who loves sleeveless tops in summer, you don't have to give them up entirely. Just layer a thin, lightweight cardigan or a sheer kimono-style cover over them, pushed up slightly to hit that 3/4 mark. You keep the coolness of sleeveless fabric, while still getting the slimming benefit of that sleeve length. Tip 5: the waist whisper. Nobody is telling you to squeeze into a corset here, don't worry, that's not what this is. What I'm talking about is something I call the waist whisper, a soft, subtle indication of where your waist actually is, without any tightness or discomfort at all. This can be as simple as a thin fabric belt worn loosely over a tunic, tied rather than buckled, or a top that has just a slight gather or ruching at the side seam. Why does this work so well? Because every single body, no matter its size or shape, has a narrowest point somewhere. And drawing gentle attention to that narrowest point creates an hourglass illusion instead of a straight column illusion. A column silhouette, meaning one uninterrupted straight line running from your shoulder all the way down to your hem, tends to visually add bulk, because there's nothing for the eye to measure against. A waist whisper interrupts that column just enough to create shape and dimension, without ever feeling restrictive, tight, or uncomfortable to wear all day. You can test this with a plain t-shirt dress or tunic you already own. Try it completely unbelted first, and notice how it reads as one long shape. Then add a thin sash or belt, tied loosely rather than cinched, and just look at how much more shape and intention suddenly appears, even though the belt itself weighs almost nothing. Tip 6: the vertical illusion nobody executes right. You've probably heard the advice that vertical stripes make you look taller and slimmer roughly 1,000 times by now. But here's what almost nobody actually tells you: the width of the stripe matters just as much as the direction it runs. Thick, bold vertical stripes can actually widen you, because your eye reads the width of each individual stripe before it ever registers the direction they're running in. What actually works is a thin, subtle vertical line, whether that's a fine pinstripe, a seam detail running down the front of a dress, a vertical row of buttons, or even a single vertical panel of a slightly different shade sewn into a top. Think of a skyscraper. From a distance, it looks like one continuous soaring vertical line reaching upward. But up close, it's actually made of many thin vertical elements, windows, seams, panels working together. That's the exact illusion you want your clothing to create too: height and length through subtlety, not through loud, thick stripes that end up fighting against your shape instead of working with it. Next time you're shopping and you see a striped piece, hold it up and really look at the width of each stripe compared to the space between them. If the stripes feel bold and graphic from a few feet away, they're probably working against you. If they feel almost delicate like a pinstripe suit, that's the vertical illusion done correctly. Tip 7: the color placement trick. Save this one, it might just be my personal favorite of all 7. Most people already know that dark colors read as slimming. What most people don't know is that it's not really about wearing dark colors everywhere. It's about exactly where you place them on your body. This trick is called color blocking with intention. The idea is simple: wear your darkest color on the part of your body you'd like to visually minimize, and a slightly lighter, brighter, or more interesting color on the part of your body you'd actually like to draw attention toward instead. For example, pairing a darker bottom like a deep navy or black trouser with a top in a color that makes you feel radiant and confident, a soft coral, a rich emerald, a warm mustard, instantly shifts the eye upward, toward your face, your smile, your energy, rather than letting it linger on any one particular area of your midsection or hips. This isn't about camouflage, and it's not about disappearing. It's about direction. You are the one in control of exactly where people look when they see you, and that is a kind of power dressing that has absolutely nothing to do with your size at all. It's the same principle a stage designer uses with lighting, drawing the audience's eye exactly where the story wants it to go. And there you have it, 7 simple shifts that can genuinely change the way your clothes work for you, starting today, without spending a single extra dollar on a brand new wardrobe. The truth is, looking slimmer was never really about becoming smaller. It was always about dressing with intention, understanding your lines, your proportions, and your fabric, and using them the exact same way stylists have quietly used them for decades, just without ever explaining it out loud. If this video helped you see your own closet a little differently today, that's exactly why I make these videos. So do me one favor before you go. Subscribe if you haven't already, tap that like button, and tell me in the comments which of these 7 tips you're trying first. I read every single comment, and honestly, they help me know exactly what to cover next for you. Thank you so much for spending this time with me today. I'll see you in the next one, and until then, remember, style has no expiration date.